I am Draken, and this is the DrakenGameWorks, and we are back again over at our Drakenspire, a complete base. Obviously you saw the video last week and it was all destroyed, but we did put it back together by the end of the actual video there last time. So we do have the Drakenspire here, and again, as we are approaching, it's got to be around about now. I think it was the beginning of June was my first video on the Unorthoblocks. I'd have to go and look this back up again, but we can see how much we've done in that space of the year. And I'm sorry, you're going to get this a lot over the next couple of videos because I am just still amazed by how much we've done. But I'm still got to do a lot to do with this outer city here. I do know we've got to do some here. I've got some extra farms I need to do down here actually at some point. So I've been looking at a podzol farm because I'm going to need podzol for the mysterious forests that's going to be on the other side of the lumberyard, which we'll talk about in a bit, that area in a second. But I'm going to need a podzol farm for that. And I've seen something that Ilmango has put up, which I think I might adapt and build into this world. But the other thing we're going to need as well in this place, I've started to realise, is that I'm going to need a better sugarcane farm, because our only sugarcane farm is the one that's in here. And it's sort of tucked right up there. You can see it's sort of tucked away. I've kept it very well hidden in the back there. It's like literally a single bank of sugarcane. I mean, it's been doing alright, and we seem to have chickens caught in there as well somehow. But it was mainly designed to sort of sit beside the sort of melon and pumpkin farm here, and also the chicken farm up there, to provide us with sugarcane to make pumpkin pie. But we've also been tapping into the sugarcane here for multiple other purposes. This includes making like crops for crop fields and creating reeds along rivers, and also needing it for paper for rockets. And because the base is getting bigger, I'm using so many more rockets these days. It is becoming a problem getting back and forth across the base. I'm having to use a lot of rockets. So my need for sugarcane has massively grown, but my actual supply of it hasn't. And I'm going to need to actually up my sugarcane production, I think, because I'm going to need a lot more sugarcane than I currently got. The other thing I need to sort of start considering as well, and I might connect this up down, I'll have to have a look at the underneath of this base and sort of see how this works together, because I may be able to build a sugarcane farm. I was going to build it in the outer city, but I'm thinking I might build it under the main base itself. I need more bone meal. I don't have enough bone meal production. You think I've got a lot of bone meal production going on. Anything the surplus from here goes into here and gets converted over. I've got cactus down below that's being converted, and we've also got sweet berries over in our sweet berry farm. That is just not enough though. I'm having to use so much bone meal, and the reason we're using so much bone meal is because of all the landscaping and terraforming that's going on now with the greater Drakenspire, these bits around the outside of the base itself. So we've got a lot here. We've got some farmlands and everything around here that you've all seen this over the last couple of videos that we've done and how we've expanded this. I've still got to do this front area over here as well. And then was another farm as well. I was trying to think, I can't remember what it is, and when it comes back to me, there was another farm as well I wanted to build down here. I think it might also just be something to expand out. It might even be just that. I wanted to build something that was just going to produce a lot of bone meal as well. So we're going to have a look at that, and maybe we'll do some extra farms in the outer city. I don't think we're going to need a lot of farms in the outer city, but that's something we needed to do. But if we come down to here, obviously we've still got the work that's got to be done on the other side of this main entrance here. But if we come out the front here, obviously we're walking amongst the farms that we've already done. We've got the observational watch post there as well. But there is something else that we've been working on this week as well, which is in the scope of, I do apologise if you can hear the screaming in the background. We do live just down the road from a major venue. We are in the centre of a town here, so sometimes we get the odd screaming in the background of girls are not enjoying themselves because lockdown has started to be eased, and now pubs in Wales you can sit outside, and people are starting to finally get to see each other again. Now the vaccine rates are up, and the amounts of COVID in the country have been brought the way down. They started to ease some stuff. Obviously, they've got to keep monitoring it, but fingers crossed things get easier from here, not worse. We are having to keep an eye, obviously, on various variants that are starting to come out, but that's just my quick aside to real life there a second, as we're interrupted by the screaming in the background. People seem to be happy to finally be able to be back out again. But this brings us actually nice and neatly up to here. So this is what I wanted to show off. This is our Meadery. So this week we've been streaming a couple of times, and I started off doing some of this on stream. Not all of it was done on stream. We finished it up off stream, and we also built the outside, the grounds off stream as well. But this is my new Meadery. So we have this area here that's like designed, a bit inspired by the sort of things that you might have seen down in things like games like Skyrim and all that sort of stuff, though it's a little bit different in its design. So it's got like a little tower in the corner here. We've got like this, I haven't done the interiors properly yet, so this area in here, I'm going to put a floor in here. Upstairs is going to be like where the people who run the Meadery live, and maybe have a little bit of an office. Down here would be like a little bar sort of thing, because you'd have somewhere where people can go and taste the mead and sort of visit and everything else, as it is a meadery. And then if we come over to this side, then this is where everything is actually being made. You can see all the barrels of mead waiting to be exported. We've got like a little courtyard out the back here as well. I'm liking the way this has sort of turned out. I was really happy with this actually. It sort of blended a bit of the style of like the farm buildings that are in the area, but also the village as well, which is right nearby the Blackstone village that we built the other week, because they were very different sort of styles and building. But we have all these big vats in here, which if I can fly up for now, we haven't got any platforms that we can sort of rest on, but you can see these are sort of being attacked from somewhere. Where are we being attacked from? I heard you. I can't see you anymore. Keep an eye out for him. Right, okay, we're going to have to deal with him. I think he fell off. He was up here somewhere, perched on a ledge. I thought we'd managed to sort that all out, but obviously not. But you can see these vat barrels, they're sort of at various different levels of need in them as well. Oh, and then we crashed into there as well. That's not a good start. Falling into the mead barrel is probably... and flying up is also quite difficult, but yeah, that makes it. That works. Yeah, my brilliant elytra skills there. But we have these mead barrels here. I'm going to build some sort of like walkways going around the top of them a bit, and these will come off like the bit that comes over the top there. Let's go see if we can find where that skeleton went to. Or did he kill himself when he landed on the floor when he fell off? He may have actually finished his own life off actually there. So that's the case, that's good. But yes, this is the meter, so this is what we've been building on stream this week, and yeah, still got a little bit of work to do on the interior, but the exterior I'm very happy with. You can see the exterior is filled with beehives around here as well, though I haven't actually got actual live bees in there. I'm getting a bit worried because we've got a lot of bees in this area. We've done it on a lot of the farms and everything else like that, so I'm being careful not to put too many more around. There are a few sort of bee nests that are sort of cropped up when I've been building some of the trees as well, so we do have a few bees around the area. But yeah, I quite like this. I love this little archways where we've got in the middle here that's sort of connecting the two buildings with that bit over the top there. And it sort of feels very much like a sort of private grounds meter. We sort of built a fence wall around the outside there to sort of separate it off. So it's like this almost like private estate as we're coming along here. And this is, of course, it's just down the road from Blackstone Village, which we were building the other week. So we've got the church there and the thing there. But the other thing we've got around as well, if we come around the corner here, you may remember when we built Blackstone Village, we built a little path just tucked off to the side here, just as we're coming into the village. This was to lead off to like other farmlands and stuff like that, and it still does. It still carries on. We've expanded it up. But I wanted to build something in this area, and I wasn't sure what to build in this area. I was sort of a bit undecided as to what to build, and then I sort of came up with this idea that we've got one of these fonts sort of in town. So we've got a similar font like this. I was sort of thinking about building like a stone circle, or like, you know, like Skyrim had like Mundus stones and stuff like that, or some sort of monolith, or some sort of fantasy element that might be found out in the wild. And then I suddenly realised I remembered I had a font just opposite the museum where we've got like a beacon underneath it, sort of powers up a green one. So I thought I'd build one over here, but because this is sort of the Blackstone area, I thought, well, let's make it. I was trying to think what colour to make the beacon. I thought, let's make it a black beacon, as though it's been corrupted, and sort of have this sort of like black lines etching out from it and sort of killing off the land around it. Not majorly, but it's just like this sort of corrupted version of the sort of the font that we see in town. And you can see I sort of created these out of basalt, these trees that are sort of ancient and starting to die off, sort of almost petrified trees. They've still got a couple of their leaves, but they look sort of a bit in that petrified state while the ground around it has started to die off as well. And we've got these sort of black lines of corruption echoing out from the font there and sort of trying to take it over. I quite like it. I quite like that design. I think it's pretty cool. But it's sort of tucked away back off the path there, just to add something to the thing there. And it doesn't do anything specific other than the fact that we get a little bit of regeneration in the air and a little bit of speed. It just speeds us up a little bit. But then we have this path that we've been working on. And this is going to lead to what we're going to be working on over the next week or two, which is to want to finish off this sort of area just south of the Meadery. So we've got an area here that hasn't been properly built. We've got our footpath coming across here, but this is going to lead over to this sort of area here, which is all going to be farmland down here. We're going to create another farm with probably another farm building, so that'll just fill up that space nicely, and then we're just going to do all the terraforming sorts around these places. What I've also built, though, is I have built a couple of extra lakes. So we had this lake over here, but over beside the Meadery this way, actually I've run out of movement speed. I've managed to exhaust all my food levels. There we are, right. So if we come over this way, I built this sort of like little bit of a small river stream sort of thing coming from over here, and then just beside the Meadery that we had over here, we I feel there was like this little sort of indent into the land that was sort of opened up between like all the sort of hills and everything else. I thought it'd be perfect to build sort of like an upper level lake or a little pond. I suppose you can't really call it a lake, it's not that big. It's more like a pond. But yeah, we have this area here that I just sort of filled it in with water and sort of decorated up a little bit. We're still going to do a lot bit around the outside. But yeah, we'll have this coming over here. And then this footpath that we built in the stream, it all sort of comes down. If we follow it all the way down to this lake over here, so this lake was already there, but we just connected them up. But the lake was then just inland, it wasn't connected anywhere. It was just like a big body of water in the middle of the ground, and it was like, well, that doesn't make sense, and we're not far from the ocean either. So I then connected it up and also expanded this footpath down, so we'll probably build like the farm building just off to the side here. But you can see we've got a little bridge over here, and it actually connects up to the fishing hut we built the other week as well. So we've got the little fishing hut and the jetty there, and it connects up, but also that lake now has also been cut through and connects up to the ocean there as well. So it all connects up now and looks pretty neat. And it's getting towards night time actually, so let's quickly grab some sleep. Now before we go on to the next bit, yeah, the next, so that's obviously what we worked on stream and what I've been working on a little bit off stream as well. But we've also got some other stuff that I've been working on in the last week as well, which I'd like to show you. And we started, I showed you the beginning of it in the last video, but I think we need to cut to a time lapse. Okay, and as you see in the time lapse there, we've been working on a lumber yard. Again, a little inspired by the ones that you sort of see in sort of Skyrim, stroke ESO, that sort of kind of thing. So if we come down to the village itself, we're back here in Blackstone Village, and we've got the footpath. You remember this footpath leads off to the portal, and we've added a few extra trees and stuff in this area as well, so it feels a little bit more sort of clustered in. Excuse me, I could hear the zombie then for a second, but yeah, we got the portal down there, sort of that little jutting part of land, but now we have this lumber yard here as well. So we've got a bit of the sort of dirt here, and we've got the sort of the logs piled up. Again, sort of a bit inspired by that sort of Elder Scrolls universe sort of thing there, but we have these logs that can come in here, up on this ramp, they get loaded into here. Then we have some saws here, we've got the levers to activate and the saws there to sort of cut them up, and then they just end up sort of being pushed off the end there, ready to be transported away after being cut up. So this is sort of sit there and to cut it all to pieces. I like this because it also has a big water wheel on the outside here, so it's all being powered by this river that's coming around. This river we're going to have to sort of terraform at some point, but this is going to come out from this area here. You see the spruces. This is going to be my mysterious forest. That's why I need lots of pods of. I got some designs I want to do. It's mainly based around spruce trees, but I'm not just doing a spruce forest. It's going to be sort of a mixture of different height spruces, but with some various different vines and also some sort of mushrooms, small mushrooms, sort of dotted here and there. Basically make it into a bit of a mystical forest, essentially. That's the idea anyway. And we'll probably put like 1 or 2 ruins in here and everything else, and that would fill up this little part of the land here from this all the way down to the coastline, at least on the southern edge. We'll show you that on the map in a minute, actually. Yeah, we have the sort of water wheel here and sort of a lumber yard on the side here as well. So that's sort of what we've done with this bit here. And then you sort of come over here. You can see we've finished off now this whole area. We'll come to the airship in a second, but you can see we've finished this area off. So we've actually textured the whole area up. I've put a load of like just a single spruce log down to represent all the trees that have been chopped down and cut down Meadery, probably all being chopped down and ferried back to the DrakenSpire in the distance there, ready for production on like new airships and everything else that they need, or new sailing ships. Who obviously got the dry docks that they're working on, so they're going to need a big supply of lumber, and this is going to be one of the areas where they're getting it from. And this is where I have a little bit of fun this week. So I started this design of this airship sort of a little bit mimicking the way the Explorer does, at least with its balloon at the top there, but then the underneath part I made completely different. So the engines on this, even though it's like the same size as an Explorer class airship, if you remember like the small airship we built 24 of in a single week for our sort of airship treasure hunt a while ago. It's same sort of kind of concept, but it has 2 engines that instead come out the side like the bigger ones, because it needs a little bit more power, I believe, on this sort of thing, because it's going to be carrying, as you can see, it's got this crane underneath carrying a trunk of wood as well, so it can carry it either over to the lumberyard, or if necessary, it can carry it straight over to the city as well. So we come on board. Actually, I haven't even named this one, so I don't even know what class of airship this is or what the name is, and this may be the only one of its kind. I may only have just this one here, but it's got its wheel at the front here because it's such a unique sort of design, because it's here for a specific purpose. It's not just like your normal airships for like transport that you might want multiple classes of, or like the military versions. This is here for just basically helping move lumber back and forwards from this lumberyard and this sort of logging area. So whether we'd have more than one, I don't know at this stage. Maybe we'll replicate it again somewhere else, but at the moment I think having just this one here as its own unique design is pretty cool. But I do need to come up with a name for it. So if you've got any ideas for a name for an airship that is designed for just lugging lumber backwards and forwards, I would really like to hear it, actually. That would be really appreciated. Do leave us a comment in the comments below, and we'll consider and pick out the best one, maybe. See what names you guys come up with. But if we fly on over to here, we'll just come back over our fields. I mean, I love how this is all sort of developed. But we can take a proper look at this in our map room. If we fly over onto this bit. So I have mostly updated it. I haven't put actually the lakes onto this map yet, so I'm going to have to pick that up and do that. So you can see the lakes should be just there and flowing to here, but obviously we haven't finished the terraforming. You can see where the path was coming to. The path hasn't even been connected up to there, so that's just how far back we are on it. But you can see now that we've got the Meadery is in place there, we've got the corrupted font there, and then we've got down here as well this bit. So my aim over the next week or so is to try and fill this area in completely. We've already made a start, as we said, with the lake that's coming down there and some of the footpath, and basically that's just going to be another farm, and then the surrounding land just has to be terraformed up a bit to sort of match the whole thing. And this would then mean this whole segment down, disappearing off here, has been completed. We've got these couple of little islands that I still got to work out what I'm going to do with them. So there's an island there, and it's like almost like an island stroke river on that one. But this jut of land here, this is the one, again, disappearing behind the spruce there. This jut of land here, this is going to be the bit that's going to be made into that sort of mystical forest at the end of the lumberyard. So the lumberyard's at the end of the mystical forest, and the mystical forest is going to extend all the way over to here. We might build a little outpost or something, or another little village down at the end of the mystical forest. Maybe a little, I don't know, maybe we should do like a wood elf village or something like that, you know, like a little tree village or something like that, where some other people are living in a slightly different style to that. I think that could be quite cool, actually, something quite different. So we might look at that as a concept in the coming sort of weeks, try and get that put into there. But yes, the first step will be to finish this bit off though, and the idea is I want to get this area all completed, and that's a big chunk of the land on the island has been done. Obviously we've got this a bit up here as well to do. I also want to sort of occupy this island, that island, and that. Well, we've already occupied that island, but we'll probably come down and occupy these islands. So it's getting a little bit close up to that bit up there, which is hidden. We're hidden it with a flag, so that's actually Mighty High's second warehouse district is actually situated up there. So how far we might extend into the islands, it depends on time as well. How much time we got left to do with stuff with season 1 here, but we're getting there. And I like the fact we got these odd little airships dotted around as well outside the city, outside of the main concentrations. We've also got to do, I've got to turn this into a bit of a sort of a public common and park area, I think. Work out how we're going to structure that to look quite nicely, because that needs a little bit of terraforming leading up to the main walls there. And we also, obviously, we need to finish the outer city bits here. So we've got another 2 dry docks to do here. They're little small dry docks compared to, so it's the smallest of the 5 dry docks there. But I also got some farms, as I said, I want to build into here. I got an idea I might put a wizard's college sort of on these 2 bigger pieces here. That's if we can see it from here. No, we can't. We'll fly up in a minute and I'll show you. But those bits are probably going to be try and build a wizard's college or something there. And we'll probably build like a barracks and maybe another airship dry dock around here. Depends on how much space we get once we've built all the farms and everything. And then we'll just dot in between it. Around the dry docks, we'll put a load more warehouses, and then we'll just dot the housing like we got on this part of the outer city, filling up the rest of the space. There needs to be like, I want to make a path, this main bridge here, I want a path that comes in through here, and there'd be like a tunnel under this raised section that then comes out, and then there should be like a wooden bridge that extends up to here, because you can see this is one of the 2 entrances into the inner city, and you know, no one's really commented on it before previously, but at the moment it just ends straight at the moat. There is no connecting bridge, so we're going to build a long sort of bridge that connects over. We've already got another entrance over this side, but we need to connect over that side as well. And there should be a bridge that comes over here, so I'll need to make sure we connect that bridge up as well and build that over at some point. So we've still got a lot to do. We've still got a lot to do, but we are getting so much closer. And you can say this is the bits that need to be sort of finished off. So I'm thinking maybe either barracks or like a dry dock up here. This is the bit that we were talking about here. And this is the bit that underneath of which we're going to build a tunnel. So it's going to come off there. The tunnel is going to go through there. And when it comes through there, it'll go right the way under. And it'll come out to here then to connect to basically a bridge here. Probably a wooden bridge which sort of goes across the moat and up over this dirt, which then connects up with this bit, which is our entrance into the inner city itself. So that's what I was talking about in that reference. And then we come over to here, back to our dry docks. These little raised plinths that we see here, that's going to be probably where I'm going to build my magic college. We got the 2 dry docks down there. So there's still a little bit of work to do here, but we have everything laid out. We've got the basic lands here. And as you know, it doesn't take me long to get through filling in these sort of areas. You know, we built this side of the inner city in I think about 2 weeks, if I remember rightly. It took us 2 weeks just to fill all of this in once we had, and this was also including building the underneath ground as well and building it up and doing the battlements, and we've already got all that now in place over there, so we're now just working on the buildings. So we'll have a look at that as well in the coming weeks, but let's see how we do. We'll see how I feel, because you know, this is the nice thing about it. This is why I've got a couple of projects on the go. I've got a couple of ideas going, because if I get bored of one, which, you know, to prevent burnout, you don't want to get bored of anything that you're working on, having something you can sort of bounce between and everything else and come back to is very handy. I mean, there's still some things in the inner city that still need to be done, but yeah, this is all coming on very nicely at the moment. I'm very happy with where we are on this, and yeah, I think we're going to have to do some sort of, I don't know, I mean, we're not going to hit 50 in time for our 1 year, so it's whether we do a special one for the 1 year anniversary, or do we do something special for the 50th anniversary. Again, let me know in the comments below, because I'm not really sure which way around we should do it, whether I should have a special episode for the 50th, or whether I should have a special episode for when we've hit the year, or should we have a special episode for both, because they're probably going to be about a month or 2 apart, so maybe we need 2 special episodes. And what should we do for it? You guys let me know. But in the meantime, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and to subscribe. And also don't forget that down in the description, we have all of the other members on the Unorthoblocks channels listed. So go and check out their stuff, because there's still a lot of awesome stuff being built. And notice Grizz has just returned, and he's got a fantastic build. I definitely recommend you going and check those ones out. But go and check everyone else's content out as well, because there's absolutely plenty of awesome stuff going around on this server. And definitely worth everyone going and having a look, because there's a lot of very talented creators here. And also don't forget, I've got additional channels as well. I've just started a bunch of new additional channels. Like, I've seemed to have maybe taken too many channels on, shall we say, but we have a new DrakenSpaceWerks for my Star Citizen stuff. We have DrakenGameworks 2 for basically any other gaming stuff. So at the moment we've been doing a Satisfactory series on there that's coming out every Friday. And also we've got DrakenStreamWorks, where we re-upload our streams from the weekday on Tuesdays and Thursdays that we do over on Twitch. So definitely go and follow us over on Twitch as well if you're into streams. But it's great to see you all again. You guys take care, and we'll see you all again. Bye.